Curse of Oak Island, did they really only find an outhouse?
On the Curse of Oak Island, fans have often been treated to all sorts of strange and shocking findings. However, one recent discovery has fans wondering if the crew just found an abandoned outhouse without seemingly realizing it. Taking to social media, fans have been debating if this is true or not, or if there could still be treasure anyway. A recent find on the Curse of Oak Island has fans confused and concerned. The Curse of Oak Island is a History Channel series that revolves around the search for treasure on the titular island. Led by brothers Marty and Rick Lagina, the team finds artifacts while a mystery of hidden treasure haunts the area. However, during a recent episode, fans have grown concerned over a new site.
As one fan noted on Reddit, has it not dawned on them that they are digging under an outhouse? Another Reddit fan gave an explanation as to why it seems obvious to some that the site is an outhouse. I have to imagine in the early 1800s, you would have a pit 6 to 8 feet deep, maybe a little deeper. Crib it up with stone to keep it from collapsing inward, build some wood framing on the top to sit on, and some walls to keep the wind off you. They found the rotted old wood, and the width looks about right on the frame. Some stones were loose, slightly uneven, and a few scrap bricks were laid with no mortar to keep the seat frame level and from shifting. It's a outhouse, boys, and they had to know that from the get-go. The fan later added, I should add, they are obviously likely to find a coin or other worthless junk in there, beside literal poop, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we are now digging up outhouses on Oak Island for content. I'm sure Dan had one, the Truro Mining Company had one, and every other resident of the island, for that matter. There have to be at least a dozen old half-buried around. Some fans think there could still be treasure in the area. However, others disagreed, pointing out that an old outhouse wouldn't be as elaborate as the structures seen on the show. As one fan explained, I've never seen a brick-lined outhouse. Both sets of my grandparents had outhouses, and it was a simple hole 4 to 5 feet deep with the house spanning it. No cribbing necessary. Another fan agreed, concur. At least, that's my experience with American outhouses. Outhouses would also be frequently moved, so no one would make such an elaborate brick fixture. Others felt that even if it is an outhouse, that doesn't mean there can't still be treasure. As one fan noted, old outhouse locations are metal detector sweet dreams. People were always moving around them, dropping things, throwing things down there, etc. They are literal heaps of treasure trash. Another joked, *yep, it's an old, and we're a bunch of heads for still watching. LOL. I swear they do the show just for in giggles. The legendary Lagina schnoz would have determined if it were an outhouse. I can't believe how obvious it is to everyone else that this is an outhouse, but the clowns on the show think otherwise. No one ever put that much work into a hole for a latrine. The winds on Oak Island howl like a warning, a reminder that something ancient and untold waits beneath its soil, or so it is said. The mystery of Oak Island, located off the coast of Nova Scotia, has intrigued treasure hunters for centuries. From the early days of the first diggers to the latest crew of the Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, the search for treasure has captivated the imagination of millions. However, the recent discovery of what many are calling just an outhouse has caused a wave of skepticism to ripple through the community of explorers. Was this latest find truly just a forgotten, run-of-the-mill structure, or does it mark the beginning of a deeper revelation? The Lagina brothers have spent years obsessively digging, drilling, and researching the secrets of Oak Island. Every new discovery, whether it's a rusty old coin, a mysterious stone marker, or an ancient wooden platform, sparks hope that the fabled treasure believed to be hidden on the island might finally be uncovered. Over time, they have encountered numerous setbacks, tantalizing clues, and cryptic messages hidden within the earth. Yet, despite their best efforts, they've never quite unearthed anything conclusive. The legend of Oak Island's treasure still looms large, driving them forward. But the pressure to prove that something valuable exists grows with each passing season. And then came the outhouse. At first glance, it seems like a letdown, a disappointment, even. After all, an outhouse is hardly the stuff of legends and certainly not the kind of discovery one might expect to make on an island so shrouded in mystery. The structure, which appears to have been built with simple, rustic materials, was unearthed by the team after weeks of digging and analysis. But what exactly did they uncover? Is it really just an outhouse, or does it have a deeper significance? Skeptics argue that it's simply a relic from a bygone era, a small structure built by the island's past inhabitants for utilitarian purposes. Perhaps it was the home of an early settler, a place where they could attend to nature's call in relative privacy. After all, the island has seen its fair share of residents throughout its history, from indigenous peoples to European explorers. It's entirely plausible that such a simple structure could have been built at some point in the past. Yet, to dismiss the find so easily would be to overlook the peculiarities that seem to surround it. The outhouse's location, for example, was carefully chosen close enough to the island's main digging site but far enough away to avoid any modern disruptions. Its construction was unlike other similar structures found in the region, and the materials used were inconsistent with the time period in which it would have likely been built. Could it be that the outhouse, in its unassuming simplicity, is hiding a secret of its own? The Lagina brothers, ever the optimists, refused to let the find slip by unnoticed. To them, even the most mundane discovery could hold significance, especially in the context of Oak Island's broader mystery. After all, the island's treasure has been rumored to be guarded by elaborate traps and layers of misdirection. It is entirely possible that the outhouse was deliberately built to obscure something more important hidden beneath or around it. Could it have been a part of a larger puzzle designed to throw off would-be treasure hunters? Some researchers speculate that the outhouse could be tied to the island's long history of secrecy and intrigue. In the late 1700s, rumors began to circulate that a group of pirates, or perhaps the Knights Templar, had hidden a vast treasure on Oak Island. But the treasure was never meant to be easy to find. It's been suggested that various decoys were planted to mislead treasure hunters, perhaps to keep them away from the real prize. If the outhouse was part of such a strategy, it could be a subtle marker, a clue that, on its own, seems insignificant but plays a pivotal role in the larger scheme. Another theory involves the possibility that the outhouse was constructed during a time when the island was used for something other than treasure hunting. Could it have been part of a mining operation, perhaps one that predated the treasure hunters? The construction of mining infrastructure on the island has long been rumored, with many believing that the money pit was part of a failed mining operation. If the outhouse was built during this time, it could be a key piece of evidence linking the island's treasure to the industrial activity of an earlier era. Regardless of its origins, the discovery of the outhouse presents a new layer of complexity to the puzzle. Whether it's merely an old relic or a carefully placed clue, it's impossible to ignore the connection between this modest structure and the deeper mystery of Oak Island. The Lagina brothers, after all, have uncovered far stranger things over the years, things that initially seemed insignificant but later revealed their importance. And as the treasure hunters continue their search, they are forced to ask themselves, could the outhouse be part of something larger? Or is it merely a piece of the island's history that has been misinterpreted as a clue?